Follow Josh's voice. You're gonna hear Josh's voice, follow it, and then I didn't want to ruin the fact that it was a house or anything, so I said, you're gonna go up, up, and then you're gonna go down. Just follow the voice, follow where the voice is coming from. So, so when Mike says, holy shit, it's a house. That's the first time he had seen that house, because we did not, we camped him like maybe 100 yards from the house, and then basically what I did was we had audio recorded Josh saying, Mike, Heather, over here, whatever, all these, and I had like a boom box. It's the same boom box that we played the little kids laughing outside their tent. And I would just like press play, and I'd, Mike, Heather, and then I'd pause, and then I would see them come out of the tent, I would move, and it was just scary for me because I'm like, I don't want to be seen, obviously. I don't want them to see me because I don't want to break the fantasy of, that Josh is calling out to them. And then, so it was, kind of a challenge, and it was kind of creepy because they were following me. They were following exactly the directions that I laid out. And then we had a technical issue in that scene. We, on the way, Heather's light ran out of batteries, and we had to actually stop shooting because we didn't have a backup battery because, we were shooting this movie for like $10,000 bucks. And so we came back the next night, and it was actually Halloween night. And luckily Heather was able to like pick up on that screaming. And so basically when you watch the movie tonight, once Mike starts running up the steps, that's all from the Halloween, from the next day. And then everything before was actually the end of their journey in the woods. So that was probably, and it was, I think for them it was a much more difficult shoot than for us, but because they were out there all the time. But it was just, it wasn't a terrible, horrible shoot, but it was, they were out there in the woods all the time, and we had like kind of a 24-hour-a-day shoot going. So there was a lot to manage, but it was, it was fun, and we knew we were doing something that nobody had ever done, and we were just wondering if it was going to work or it was going to be a complete piece of garbage. So,
Obviously it worked.
Gentleman there.
Ed's nephew, David Poole, and we basically dressed him in like these white leotards and white long johns and a white shirt and white glove, like he had socks over his hands and over his shoes, and we basically like took him out there like at 1 a.m, and it was cold. I mean, it was like late October, and I felt so he fell into the creek because we had to cross one of the logs that they crossed. We had to cross it to get to the campsite, and it was like pitch black, and we have the flashlights, and we're trying not to make noise because we don't want to wake them up, and he fell, and he got he was like, oh no, I'm ready to go, let's do it. So he basically was running next to Heather. We cleared a spot for him, like a little channel in the woods, and he would just basically, we said, just run, when they run out, run next to them, and just run, don't even look at them, just try to stay as close as you can to them. But so Heather turns and she goes, what the fuck is that, whatever, and then we were supposed to get it on film. We were supposed to get this image of like this ghostly figure running next to them, but it didn't come out on the film, and we actually went back and reshot, because we were shooting on film, so you can't see anything until you develop the movie. So you kind of have to shoot, and you have no idea what you get on the can until you develop the film. And we shot that scene with him, just that part of it, like 3 times, and he's just invisible. Like he would not. We had him like 10 feet away from the camera with this light blasting, and it still didn't work out. And then when Dan and I got back, we were like, oh my God, he didn't come out. And we were like really disappointed. But then later on, we were like, man, that's probably the best thing that happened, because it's kind of creepier to. But it would be cool to have like some kind of figure there. But I like the fact that it's all your imagination, and But there's so many things like that in the movie that like that just kind of came. We lucked out on so many different levels.
before I get to my question, I just wanted to thank you guys for just making one hell of a movie and like paving the way for indie actors and indie filmmakers. Like, you guys paved us one hell of a straight path, and you know, this film has had a lot of influence on, I know, me personally, and I mean for a lot of us for 25 years. So I just want to say thank you guys for that. And getting my question, who came up with the marketing campaign behind this movie?
Who came up with the marketing campaign was the question.
It was kind of a collaborative process. Like, we shot the movie in October of '97, and then we went to Orlando. I moved to Orlando to start editing with Dan in '98, and then we had a little bit of a success with this little show called Split Screen that showed a little bit of the trailer for the movie, and you know, their website, very simple, you know, 1998, very simple websites, but their discussion board blew up about Blair Witch, and so they were like, you know, you should start your own website, you know, just to take the traffic out for ours, because all their people are always only talking about Blair Witch, and we want to talk about other things. So I had a little bit of website experience, so I built the website and became, you know, kind of just, you know, I would edit during the night, and then I would, you know, work on the website during the day, and I just kept adding stuff, and people immediately kind of came to it, and it really helped us out during a really kind of dark time in our lives where, you know, we had no money, we were like really broke, and we're having like utilities cut off at our houses and stuff, and the, you know, the people just, you know, from all over the world were like just loving this premise, and we're like, man, they haven't even seen the movie yet. So it really kind of, you know, got us through the dark times. And then, you know, luckily we hooked up with a company, Artisan, that like was really cool with like doing experimental stuff. They were like a small company with a lot of cash, and there was one guy there, that marketing guy, really got the movie, and he understood what it was. So he was kind of like, he kind of tapped into our brains, and we're like, you know, and it was really a great collaboration. And they were like the perfect distributor until the movie started making money, and then they were like really became a bunch of assholes. But you know, but that's kind of the way it is, unfortunately. But it was so it was a lot of us and a lot of them, and just kind of collaborating, you know, giving notes on the trailers, and just like you know, like Curse of the Blair Witch, which was a documentary that we did that came out a little bit before the movie. You know, they were like, hey, you know, we got an hour on Sci-Fi Channel. Do you guys have anything for the movie, for, you know, to do like a special, like a 1 hour special? And we were like, yeah, we could, you know. So we were able to do that, and so it was, you know, it was cool. And again, I mean, I always tell people, like, you know, whatever happened with Artisan after the movie succeeded, you know, they were a really great company, and I think that they were the only company that would have taken the chance to like market the movie the way they marketed it, and the way, and also to put as much money as they did when it needed money. So you know, it was like, again, I've said it a million times. It was there's the movies like it's just, you know, good luck after good luck, and you know, decisions that were made for us, and sometimes we made decisions that ended up being, you know, great decisions down the road. So it was like a totally blessed movie, and we knew we were blessed. Like, it was like, I can't believe how much good luck we're having. So. But yeah, it was very collaborative, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being such fans of this film for so many years. I am consistently asked what's the best part of having been in the Blair Witch Project, and I can honestly say it's having the enormous joy of meeting all of you, spending time with these wonderful people, so thank you. And in case anybody is at all interested and wants to feel really old, baby Ingrid's husband is right over there next to my husband, her dad's. Say hi, Ari and Bill, wave at everybody. There we go. So the little baby is now very happily married for over 2 years. How's that for? We have to scoot before the film starts, so thank you everybody. We love you very, very, very much.
I'm going to just go off of what Susan said. Thank you, everybody. As I've said many times before, if it weren't for you, the fans, we would just be going about our daily lives like we normally would. So, thank you. I've also thanked Ed, I don't know how many times, for giving me the chance to do this, and it's been a blessing.
All right, thank you. So again, I want to say thank you to these guys up here for making such a wonderful movie and bringing a lot of folks together and allowing us to celebrate this over the last 25 years. I want to thank Brewerton, the town of Burkittsville, but mostly I want to thank and introduce our town mayor, Michael Robinson, who is responsible for putting this. I'm an honorary. Fair enough. You can blame me. But yeah, I want to turn it over to Michael to say a final few words before we get started.
Final few words. Thank you all for coming out. I don't know exactly how much money we've raised for the Burkittsville Union Cemetery. I know they, at their table alone, made $445. We'll see how much of a cut the Swank takes after I submit the final report, and so it's we probably end up with twice what we did last year. So thank you all for that. Has anybody here not seen the movie? Raise your hand. Oh, yeah, we got a couple people. There's a few people. All right, it's time for the ritual. Go stand in the corner. So, I think it's okay for me to say this now? They tested it, said it worked. All right, so you may have seen some. So, has anybody heard about this restoration that's coming out later this year? You want to see it? No promises. I've been told it works. So let's, yeah, if this works out, I've heard that it's been tested and it works. I think y'all be the first audience to watch it. Yeah, y'all be the first audience to see the restored version of the Blair Witch Project. And if that doesn't work, we have a 1999 DVD. And I think without further ado, let's, you don't want to hear me talking anymore, so let's get it started. Thanks everybody so much.